Hello and welcome to another 17 video. Today I will be showing you my personal ranking of all of 17's albums. Little disclaimer, I'm just gonna do their Korean albums since I think it wouldn't be fair to their Japanese albums to compare them with each other since their Japanese albums mostly are just one song and then translations of their Korean songs. Okay, so starting with 17 Carat. My criteria is going to be based on three things: the packaging, their looks, and how good the track list is overall. So, starting with the packaging, I have to say I like the idea of it, but the reality is basically a nightmare. Ever since I opened it when I first bought it, I have not been able to put it back in a way that is anywhere near the original. You have to be an origami expert to be able to put that back in there. So I wouldn't give it too many points on aesthetic. And then there's the looks. And let me tell you, this was an era. You can clearly see that this was 2015. And I don't know, it's just not doing it for me, but I get it. They just debuted it, so I'm not asking that much of them. And then finally, the track list. I love Shining Diamond and Adore You. Ah Yeah and Jam Jam just haunt my dreams, but I do love 20 as well. And that is the reason why 17 Carat goes in Brilliant. Then there's Boys B. Now, Boys B I think has pretty good packaging. It's very comfortable, very nice to look at. So let's go over to looks. I think it's a good era, pretty simple. I love that this is when Hoshi started wearing his hairband, and everyone else looks very, very cute. Pretty simple. I don't like Vernon's hair at all, but let's not talk about Dino and the way they disrespected him. But anyway, so finally there's the track list, and I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of this track list. I love Monse, and I really like When I Grow Up, but every other song in the album is pretty mediocre. It's really not my style, so that's why Boys B has to be, for me, in just spectacular, because it's really basically it's not my cup of tea. Okay, then heading over to Love and Letter. Now, their packaging is absolutely amazing. I love the format and I love how there's only two versions because 17 got crazy after this. But in regards to looks, I think it's pretty okay. It's nothing out of this world. They either wear normal clothes or rose quartz and serenity suits, which are pretty cute, but yeah, nothing out of this world. And then the track list. I love Pretty You and Still Lonely. And I like the Monday to Saturday hip hop team version. But other than that, I think the other versions are kind of boring. I don't really love Love and Letter. And yeah, that's basically everything. So that's why I would put it in Brilliant, which isn't bad, honestly. So coming up at number 4, we have the repackaged version of Love and Letter. And I gotta say, I love the repackage. I don't really love that it's so small, but everything in it is just beautiful. I don't really dig this basketball look, but other than that, the other looks are really, really cute, and I love how they stuck to their colors. And then the track list. I love this track list. You might think it should be exactly the same as the other one because it's only a repackage, but the songs that they added are amazing. No FUN, very nice, Healing, Simple, and Space are some of my favorite 17 songs. So ultimately, Love and Letter repackage, I have to put it in show stopping because let's just say it as it is. Ajunai's really changed the game. Moving on to Going 17. For a long time, Going 17 was my absolutely favorite era. I think the packaging is pretty good. It's kind of uncomfortable to open it, but other than that, pretty chill. The looks in the music video are incredible, and in the album itself are pretty chill, pretty self explanatory, nothing out of this world, but very aesthetically pleasing. And the track list overall, it's always been one of my favorite ones. If another album, which I won't spoil, didn't exist, I think this might still be my favorite track list. So that's why I definitely have to put it in Never the Same. Basically God tier. Then number 5 is All One. And this one, the packaging is my favorite one of all time. The pictures are just so beautiful. The boys are serving looks in every single picture. I don't know why they all decided to take pictures on tables, but I really dig that. And I think it's just a great era for all of them. And speaking of track list, I think Don't Wanna Cry is now one of my favorite songs, even though I didn't like it that much when it came out. Habit is amazing. If I love it. Swimming Pool, absolutely adore it. I think it's the first time in any 17 album in which I like all 3 unit songs. My Eye, iconic, and Crazy in Love, also amazing. So that is why All One has to go in completely not ever done before. I almost hesitated to put it in Never the Same because Don't Wanna Cry, when I started loving it, really changed the 17 sound. But ultimately, I feel like overall it goes better in Completely Not Ever Been Done Before, which isn't half bad. Then we get to Teenage. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about packaging wise in Teenage. It's so tedious getting it out. The font, let's just not say anything about that. But otherwise, I think the looks are incredible. There's such a wide variety because they did 4 versions, but I love every single one of them. And then there's the track list, which is incredible. I love every single one of these songs. If I had to nitpick, I would say Bring It is not my favorite, but just because it's not my style, I can still see how amazing it is, but just not my cup of tea. So ultimately, Teenage has to go in Never the Same, because the first time I heard Clap, I knew this era, this album was going to be my favorite, and it was, especially since Change Up and Trauma are also in the album. Then moving on to its repackaged Director's Cut, I'll have to say the packaging is pretty good. It only has 2 versions, which I think it's still a lot for a repackage, but the looks are very cute, very chill, but also very aesthetic and fashion forward, which I really like. So 10 out of 10 in looks department. And then the track list, I think Thanks is amazing. Run to You, an incredible anime opener. And then Falling for You, I thought it was amazing how they did that for Jonghan and Joshua. And Thinking About You, oh great. So basically, I'll have to put it in show stopping, which for me, I know it's kind of confusing because I put Teenage basically in God tier, but it's because it's not the same vibe. I don't really count the songs that are already in Teenage as part of Director's Cut, so I basically judged it from just those 4 songs. Then we have You Make My Day, which is one of my favorite packagings, except for that it's kind of uncomfortable how small it is. But other than that, I definitely love all of the looks. I love all of the versions. They're so cute, they're so summery, and I think the track list honestly is amazing. Moonwalker and Come to Me are my least favorite, but other than that, I love every single song on this album, so it has to go on Completely Not Ever Been Done Before. Then we have its basically its twin, its dark twin, and that is You Made My Dawn, and that is also super aesthetic. I love every single look. It's so beautiful, and the track list is just amazing. I love Home and Good to Me, those two songs. Every time they come on, I cannot change them because they're just incredible. So, The Evil Twin also goes in Completely Not Ever Been Done Before. The next one is Anode. Now, this album for me is kind of bittersweet because it's the album that I was gonna go watch them perform in a concert, but everything changed when 2020 and COVID-19 attacked, and they canceled their Europe tour. So, kind of bittersweet feelings. I feel like if I had been able to see them in concert, this would definitely be in Never the Same, but since I didn't, and since it has that memory for me, despite the beautiful looks, and despite this beautiful picture of TK, the track list is all in all not my favorite. I do love Fear and 24/7 and Second Life are some of my favorites, and Snapshoot is so cute, but all in all, nothing really sticks with me other than those songs. So I'm very sad to say that this has to go in just show stopping for me. And finally, we have our latest album, Gengari. I don't know if I said that correctly, but let me just talk about this album. The packaging. This basically looks like an IKEA instructions manual, and I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm not a fan of this idea at all. I do have to say the looks are incredible, and Left and Right is one of the most aesthetically pleasing videos that I have ever seen. So, oh, also this picture of Scoops with his curly black hair is beautiful. So finally, the track list. I love Fearless and Left and Right and My, but just the other three songs, the fact that we didn't get unit songs kind of threw me off, and none of them really like stuck out to me. So that's why, sadly, even though I love the other three songs, this one has to go in just show stopping, which isn't bad at all, but I wish it could have been either Completely Not Ever Done Before or Never the Same, because I just love the aesthetics and love Left and Right that much. So I hope you liked this video, and tell me down below which 17 album you like the best.